Assignment time. Now, please note that ZBrush is not required for this assignment. So if you didn't have ZBrush, you don't have to do it. You don't have to have it to do this assignment. It's just one of the things that I like to show is the fact that there is this magical end of the rainbow type of look. And ZBrush is not even the end of the rainbow. It's like midsection, midline. Then you have all kinds of texturing and then rendering and all that other stuff that happens at the very end, depending upon what you're doing. Okay. So if it's a game character, it's not very much about rendering. It's just about making a good texture and a good set of maps. If you were doing CG related things, it's all about rendering. So there's so many different routes that, when you quantify something down to saying, okay, we're going to teach texture rendering and lighting, that's like saying, well, there's one answer to everything, and there's not. So here's what we're going to do as far as an assignment goes, and we'll play it like this. If you don't have ZBrush, just remain in Maya. I gave you this head model at a lower res, so it looks just like this. It's in the lesson folder for this chapter, and all you do is have to import that in and do the UVs here in Maya for it. Okay, so do one in Maya and have this checkerboard look on it so I can check it out. Get it? And the other one I want you to do in Blender. So I want you to kind of be a scientist on this thing. I want you to have it side by side. So Maya, Blender. Put the Maya one on the right. So that means when you're done, you're going to have this project. Okay. So I guess I should show you this for the one more time, because trust me when I say this, I'm teaching a texture rendering and lighting class now, and I think the one thing that is common between everything is the ability to turn in a good project folder that makes sense. So let me do that one more time. Okay. Going to export. Desktop. Okay. Now, I'm going to also save the scene as. I'm also going to set the project. Okay. And the one thing I want to do is there's a few thousand textures in here from the import export process. This happens all the time. What I'm going to do is optimize scene size. That'll narrow it down to 1. Okay. I want to repair the preview for this. Okay. And under textures, see this texture right here? What I want to make sure of is see how it says desktop organic users blah 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 blah. I want to switch this over to be this one, which is in my Jason Welsh head model. This is the difference. See how it says now UV gauge TIFF. This happens, you need this to be in the root folder, okay? And that way when I open it, it opens with all the textures. If your senior modeler opens it, if your project manager opens it, to just check it out, it's all put together for them, okay? So keep in mind, you got to keep it very simple for everybody along the food chain. That will preserve it. Now, let me save this scene. and then close it out. So this is what it'll look like if somebody else opens it. If I open up head, and I'm just looking at it, everything turned out okay. Notice, however, I just want to point this out. In Hypershade, under textures, this texture now reads the same. Okay. So no matter if Joey, who lives in Pakistan, opens it up and he has Windows XP, it's going to work. Or a guy using the Linux variation of the program is going to work, or etc. and so forth. Okay. Just keep that in mind. Now, to turn this in, all you need to do is zip this up. That's what's required. All right, so that's your assignment. Do the UVs across a very simple organic head, and make sure they're unwrapped okay, and be in 2 different programs. So it's kind of a large assignment. It seems like it's small, but that Blender thing is going to stop you a little bit. So enjoy, and on to the next chapter.